All right. It is Monday night, and that means it's time for the SideKick Power Hour. My name is Nakia. I'm here with you every week with my co-host, Joshua R. Pangborn. I'm down here in Austin, Texas. Josh is out in Queens, up in New York City, y'all. We are here every week. We're counting down. We're rewatching season 5. No, I'm sorry, not season 5. Season 2 right now of Skeleton Crew, but we're rewatching all the seasons leading up to season 5.
Yes.
And right now, we're at what? Season 2, episode 5.
6.
This says episode 5 right there. Okay, so there we go. So this is season 2, episode 6 tonight. So I am completely on the wrong episode. There we go. Now
I blame it on your pain medication from your ankle. So
let's not talk about my ankle. Oh my God. If you guys didn't see already over on my TikTok, which is just at nakia.net, I busted my butt 3 weeks ago today. I still did the show the last 2 weeks, though, from bed, but I am glad to be back in the studio. I did have PT today for the first time, and my foot is still swollen and very sore, so I'm going to have to go to a physical therapy for a couple more weeks. But here we are. No pain tonight. It's not going to be painful to be a part of the show. Good evening to our fans. Good evening to Josh. Josh, tell us what we are in store for tonight.
Well, we are going to be watching episode 6 of season 2, Wishbones. It is one of the most fun episodes I think we had filming, just because it is such a fun, off the beaten path kind of experience. And then we're going to be talking a little bit about some upcoming events for Skeleton Crew and Demon Doctor. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the musical, because I think we should.
Well, I think we should too, obviously, as the co-writer of the musical. At this point, y'all, it's almost done. I mean, the next part is going to be really, really difficult, though, because we have to record all of the cast, and myself and the producer, we're here in Austin, so we got to figure out how we can get to New York. Right now, there's a 2-week quarantine. If I want to go to New York City, I have to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Well, that's because New York is really good at dealing with COVID compared to a lot of places in this country.
That's true.
We're very grateful for New York's standards and regulations, because that makes us safer.
And it makes it possible for you to actually get some stuff done.
Exactly.
So while we're talking about that, let's bring in our regular guests on the show. You know them. You love them. It's Stuart Kiczek.
Oh, it's me. Oh, hi.
And of course, Ashley and Monique Menard.
Oh, hi, guys.
Wow. Whoa.
Oh, my God. It's Ashley and Stuart.
Ashley, how did you get here? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, your hair. I love your hair, Ashley. Is it real?
I just did it while you guys stalled.
Excellent timing.
Well, I understand that you both worked on different sets with Josh on different days this weekend. Ashley, how does it feel to be back filming more regularly after so many months of not doing so?
It feels amazing. It feels amazing. We filmed this weird thing Josh wrote. It was weird. And my favorite part is at one point I was like, wait, what? Oh. And Josh was like, didn't you read the script? And I was like, we just read it out loud, but I didn't get that. Oh.
It's true. I actually pulled a Stuart.
Hey.
Well, Stuart, what about you? What was it like? How's it feel to be back filming so regularly now?
It was just nice to see Josh. It was just nice to see everybody. It was nice to do something creative and productive and constructive, and I couldn't ask for more.
Good. Josh, something else happened this weekend. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yes. Well, this weekend, October 11th, is National Coming Out Day, and I think for the LGBT community, it's a very important day to recognize, because it's a day that reminds people it's okay to come out and supports you in coming out. I mean, it dates back to 1988, so it's not that old of a holiday or a celebration, but it's an important day, I think, and I think whatever we could do to support people in being true to who they are and being able to own their own identities, I think we should do that. And I'm glad that there's a day that actually exists where it reminds people, hey, it's okay to come out, but it's also okay not to if you're not ready yet.
Sure.
So it's about coming out in your terms, and that's what National Coming Out Day is.
And for tonight, we're gonna do our normal question for the audience, which is, what is your favorite 80s fantasy film? And you can let us know in the comments, and we're going to let you know later on in the show what our favorite 80s fantasy films are. But we'd also love to hear what your coming out stories are. Maybe it has to do with one of your favorite 80s films. Maybe you saw Never Ending Story and immediately knew you were gay. I don't know. But whatever it is, if you feel comfortable sharing, we'd love to see your coming out story in the comments below. Anybody on the show have a coming out story they want to share?
Well, I can say that I came out to my mother on National Coming Out Day.
You're so dramatic.
Well, yes. I mean, I was reading Teen People at the time.
Teen People, you were so woke back then.
Teen People.
I was very woke. I was very Teen People and these teen magazines are doing some hard-hitting journalism. I mean, there's some of those people that are out there knocking down the doors on these crazy things.
Definitely.
So you came out to your mom on
because of Teen People. Yes. Well, Teen People gave. I didn't know. Obviously, how do you tell your mother when you're a little prepubescent teenager that you're homosexual? And so
how old were you?
I was 11 or 12, so I was on the cusp of puberty.
11 or 12.
I'm alone face. Wait a minute.
And
wow.
So I wrote a letter to my mother. Because Teen People suggested if you don't feel comfortable telling the person, you just leave a letter for them. So I left a letter.
Hello, Mother. I hope this letter finds you well.
It kind of said that.
It probably started, "Dearest Mother, I hope you are in the best of spirits today."
Yeah,
kind of. I mean, not that, not spirits, because I didn't want to encourage any alcohol or anything. It was 8:00 in the morning when she probably read it. So, and of course, I refer to alcohol as spirits, so that's what I do. But I told her that I was homosexual in the letter. I told her. Now, I also had a cousin who was a priest, so I told her to please not get the cousin and bring him over and give me an exorcism because it was not a demon. It was okay.
Oh, I thought you were saying not to blame him.
No.
That was going at all.
No.
Okay.
You thought I was going to talk about that instead of exorcisms and demons? I wrote Demon Doctor.
True.
Speaking of Demon Doctor,
I wrote Demon Doctor.
I love demons.
And speaking of the scary things in the world, like Demon Doctor, November 3rd is coming up. And so we want to make sure that we are voting. It's not scary. You can go to the polls. If you're in Texas, early voting starts tomorrow. That's right. They tried to hold us back, but we come in for the early vote tomorrow. And I know there's probably a lot of you out there that many have already voted, but there's a lot of time between now and then. So make sure that you're ready to vote. If you still have time to register where you are, register to vote, please vote. There's some information about voting right here that we want to share with you. You can find out if you're currently registered to vote at nass.org/can-i-vote. I bet you can probably go to just nas.org and it would probably be on the front page too. So, and don't forget that we are accepting donations for helping to pay with the musical episode. We're really excited about it. We got to record it. Information is there. And so let's take a second and let's talk about some other updates from the SideKick universe. Oh, but before we do, Carl, I was working in a quality assurance at Shazam at the time. I tagged "I'm coming out" and shared it via the social media connector. I was testing at the time. Wow.
And that's way more dramatic than my letter to my mother. So,
well, you know what I did? I will tell you when we come back from the break. Years ago, I posted my coming out on Facebook. The wild surprise, my right-wing family were the most welcoming about it. Interesting.
I'm so happy,
You never know
Anthony.
what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. And most importantly, it's your truth and it's nobody else's. So do it in your own time when you feel safe and ready. I am ready to talk about this news that you have, Josh. Give it to us.
Well, we have a lot of things to catch up on about the SideKick universe. First, I think we should talk about the Ozark Mountain Web Fest.
Okay.
We talked a few weeks back about the Ozark Mountain Web Fest and that we were in it, and it is this weekend. Obviously, it is virtual because, like all things this year, it has been canceled for people, but it's not canceled for Zoom. So if you want to take part in the Ozark Mountain Web Fest, you can see episode 3 of Demon Doctor among the other people who are competing that day. There's also a really exciting panel on Saturday for filmmaking in the COVID panel world. And then if you just want to watch the award ceremony at 5 o'clock that night, again, this is Mountain Time, Central Time because it is Ozark Mountains. You can tune in at 5 o'clock, and then the link is right there. I don't know if we're nominated for anything, but it's a great opportunity to see us do something exciting with Demon Doctor at the Ozark Mountains.
And you'll put that link in the chat from the Skeleton Crew in all of our posts right now. And then also, Josh, don't forget, there is a COVID version of Demon Doctor.
Though there is a COVID version of Demon Doctor and a COVID version of Skeleton Crew. Actually.
That's right, and because they're doing that panel on Saturday. You've already done it, so
and some part of Blowing It got filmed during COVID.
That's true. We did film the part of Blowing It during COVID, and we've even incorporated it into that. But we won't talk more about that.
I do believe there's more news.
There is. The Baltimore New Media Web Fest.
The Baltimore New Media Fest.
So they have started to announce their nominations. We have 2 nominations so far. They're very slow with their nominations. They're giving a few each day. But I couldn't tell you that I couldn't pass this up. We are nominated for horror and fantasy. So
wow.
2 nominations for Demon Doctor.
Wow.
So that's exciting.
Amazing.
We're coming after you, Bong Zombie.
What else?
And then New Zealand Web Fest just came out with their nominations, and they love Skeleton Crew. We were nominated for Best Ensemble at the New Zealand Web Fest for Skeleton Crew, Best Director, Stuart and me, Best Actor, me. Best Show, hey.
Holy crap.
Best Show, and I think there's one more, but I'm not sure. Oh, and also the Alumni Award, because Skeleton Crew was in the New Zealand Web Fest last year.
I love this photo.
I do like it too. It's from season 4.
One of my favorites of you. I've never seen it.
I don't use it, but I think I'll start using it actually.
I really like it a lot. This is a good look for you.
Yeah.
I like the hair.
Why don't we just start using this for when you're talking?
Okay. I mean, it's better than my hair right now.
No,
so my hair is
like, you're adorable.
Look face. Joshua, I made you look so damn pretty yesterday. I made Joshua look so pretty that even Kristen Cantwell sent me a message and said, Josh's hair looks really cute. And I said, I know, right? I did that.
Well, let me tell you what else you can do. You can stream all 4 of the seasons of Skeleton Crew at SkeletonCrewTheSeries.com. You can stream Demon Doctor, I believe, at DemonDoctor.com. You can follow Skeleton Crew the Series on Instagram if you're not already. And you can tell us in the comments, what is your favorite 80s fantasy film, and give us some of your coming out stories. With that, it is time.
Nakia, I have my hand up. I have a question. Are you calling from 1996? Are you calling from Jostin? Remember the guys who used to take the photography, the yearbook photos? Are you calling from 1996? Because it's so.
It does.
This made my day.
JCPenney, autumn catalog.
I love it.
I do too. I think it's a great backdrop.
I love this backdrop. Is it just like a screen?
Totally.
Or did you paint your wall?
No, I just painted it this way.
Thank you, Gato.
It's awesome. I love it so much. It pops on you. I can't keep my eyes off you, Nakia.
It does. He pops so nicely.
You're welcome.
Thank
You
you.
look so awesome. But it's also a combination of the video cassette t-shirt.
I know.
And I even had to Google. I was like, who did the yearbooks? Who did the yearbooks? That was Justin. That's who they were.
I love that.
So we are going to move on to another flashback episode. So it means it goes together nicely with Ashley's flashback to 1996. So this is synergy, full circle, reincorporation. It's all about those rules of improv.
Don't forget, folks, that if you see a flashback scene, you have to take a drink.
Okay.
Well, then you're in luck for this whole episode. You're going to be drunk. So,
Heckin' yeah.
all right. So this is Skeleton Crew Season 2, Episode 6, Wishbones. It is the only to-date Thanksgiving episode of Skeleton Crew, so that's exciting. But it was aired after Thanksgiving, December 11th, 2016. I think that's because we filmed most of it the weekend before, Stuart, right?
I'm
pretty sure.
That whole year,
Well, anyway, here we
He
go.
doesn't even remember to send me messages back. So
Right.
I wonder if he can remember that long ago.
That week. Yeah.
Stuart, I missed
Vampire
you.
was the king.
Stuart, I missed you.
I can't believe you forgot to cook the turkey.
What?
You stupid. I'm gonna give you a fresh one.
Thank you for coming over today. I don't know what I would have done without you.
Oh, you're welcome, sweetie.
Audition
I'm really
for
glad that I was able to
movie?
help.
I don't even know what's going on with her. I'm her brother, and they won't even tell me what's happening with my own sister.
It's
No.
okay. Don't worry about it. They will discover
Josh, you
that
look like you'd
Veronica
be
is
a
not
part of
off
the,
her rocker, and they'll let her
quartet.
go in time.
I hope
Or a magician.
I got the temperature right, because
I love this outfit. I can't help it.
Hunter
I
was
do not.
always the one to make the Thanksgiving
It's a
turkey.
costuming.
Sweet.
No, he
Don't
looks
do
like
that
a
to yourself
puppet.
today.
Yeah, it's very
hands up
costuming.
it.
For being
Oh,
grateful
that's
for
a
what you
good
do
point.
have.
That's a good point. Because when Christian wears it, it doesn't look so
Got me.
costuming.
Yeah.
And you also
Yeah.
have that boy in the other room. He's so cute. The one on the couch.
like him on the
He's so
sleeve.
snuggly and everything. What's his name?
Anglicus.
Anglicus, yes. Well, I'll just stick with Snuggles.
Wait
He
and
is really
see.
great. I mean, he's the one that really helps me get through this.
Yeah, and there's also that other guy, that whore something.
Horatio.
For
Horatio.
something.
Lord, what is it with you? Surrounding yourself with people with all these weird names.
I don't know, Madame Beverly.
And that's not even the weirdest thing about me.
I suppose it's not.
So yes, Horatio. Well, we're all together. We're all here for you.
I don't really know about Horatio. I mean, I don't even know what we are.
Well,
You're
we
trouble.
don't
That-
What's
can be
Anthony
very
cooking
hard,
in those pots?
I'm sure that he has feelings for
Potatoes.
you. He wouldn't even be here.
He locked my penis in a chastity device.
It's just loving from his oven.
Oh,
Just
please.
kidding.
I have to see that.
No.
Yes, there is no debate about this. Drop your pants.
This is where Father Snuggle starts. You're right.
It was all her.
Lord, that's something. I mean, wow, you can't even.
Wait, did you or Yolanda come
Lord
up
have
with numbers?
mercy.
Yeah, so,
Me.
I mean, he gets jealous, which is so sweet. It really is. It is. But
Such a
then he goes out on
baby.
dates with other men every night of the week.
I'm sorry, I'm stuck on your penis. So, when was the last time you?
When was the fundraiser?
So how long is this going to take? I'm meeting Gerard later tonight, and I'd like to digest first.
It's going to take a few hours at least. I mean, I just put the turkey in the
Wow.
oven.
Look, I know you live in your head and all, but the rest of us don't. And some of us don't have so much in reserve they can afford to miss a meal here and there.
Mm-mm.
Come on, sweetie, let's go back into the
I
other
wish you
room.
would take his
I
glass
do
and
have a
throw it against
present
the
for
wall.
Anthony, and it'll help us kill the
Just
time while the
really
bird is
reckless,
baking.
even more so.
A book.
Yes. book. When I was your age, television was called books.
I'm a philosophy major.
Well, you would be if you were still in school.
And this is a very special book. It's going to be filled with stories of fencing and fighting and torture and revenge and
I'm captivated.
love
You are.
and miracles.
Wow. That sounds amazing. I'll try and stay awake.
Thanks. I appreciate your vote of confidence.
The pages are all blank.
That's correct, because you're going to fill in my life story.
You must have a fascinating story to tell, Mr. Glenn.
I do, yes. But
Yes,
I
I just
wager
said
that
it was
we'll have to
fascinating.
change the names to protect the innocent.
You mean to protect you from all the lawsuits?
Ugh. Now, I thought it would be a lovely idea to just give you a sample of my story, while we're waiting for dinner to come out. So I'm going to start at chapter 1.
Cue the music.
Chapter 1. Buttercup. I'm going to call myself Buttercup. Buttercup was born in the country and lived on a farm.
I mean, Owen, I think that everyone just shows their chastity penises to friends.
Mm-hmm.
Those damn turkeys.
Nice touch with the turkeys.
Sure is an amazing day today.
Every day's an amazing day since I met you, Carrie.
I feel the same way, Buttercup.
Oh, Carrie. Do you really have to go back to the big city so soon?
Oh God,
I do.
But you look so amazing as a farmhand. Oh, it looks real good on you. Oh, Carrie, I don't want you to go.
I know, baby. I know.
Oh,
no.
I am sorry, you two. I figured you'd have her on some haystack with her legs over your shoulders, Carrie.
Mama, don't be so mean. Carrie's not like that.
And why in tarnation not? You're only young once.
She's right. We should make the best out of the time we have
You
together.
shitbone.
Well, you don't have to ask me twice.
That's right, my boy. Plow that fresh grass.
You can't tell me you ever want that to end, Mr. Carrie Wesley.
Oh, Stuart.
What? What is it?
I got some really strong feelings for you, Buttercup. It's not fair to you.
No, what's not fair to me is you denying how you feel. And what's not fair to me is you denying me a part of yourself that I really, really, really enjoy.
Boom, chicka bomb.
I mean, heart. I mean, that part is really nice too, and it makes me feel so good, Mr. Man.
I can't do this to you anymore.
Lord God, Carrie, what has got your titties all twisted?
I've been
Right,
lying to you,
Nickel.
Buttercup. I've been lying to you about being a wealthy real estate tycoon from the big city.
Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from the big city.
But you just said.
I said I was lying to you about being a wealthy real estate tycoon from the big city.
Exactly, so then where are you from?
I wasn't lying to you about being from the big city.
Oh,
I was lying to you about being a wealthy real estate tycoon.
oh.
Honey.
I don't care if you're rich or if you're poor. Doesn't change how I feel about you, Carrie.
Oh, I'm rich. Very rich.
You just said that.
I said I was lying to you about being a real estate tycoon.
Oh my God, Carrie, you're taking the long way around to make this point, aren't you?
Seems so.
So wait, so if you're not a real estate tycoon, then what are you?
I'm an assassin for the mob. I kill people for money,
Oh,
and I'm really, really good at it.
no.
No.
But it doesn't change the way I feel about you, Buttercup.
I can handle what you do, Carrie, but I don't know if I can handle breaking a promise to Mama.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I love Buffalo Trace. I would pay good money to watch Stuart drink out of a cup
assassin for the
any day of the week.
My weapon of choice was a sword. A bit old-fashioned, certainly, but it definitely allowed me to make my mark.
Lots of marks, actually. You see, Mama was famous for the intricate cuts she would leave on her victims.
But one day, I couldn't bring myself to do as my Don said.
That's true, Black Shoe up there.
Who was it? Who broke you?
Oh, this sweet bear of a man. Andre was his name. I used my feminine wiles to worm my way into his bed. But then when I found out how gentle and adorable this man was, I realized he wasn't deserving of the death sentence that my Donna gave him.
Stu, you don't wear enough polka dots.
Mama is so brave.
Don Vizzini was furious. But Andre and I ran off together to hide, and then I had the sweetest baby a mama could ask for.
Of course, Mama didn't know how sick Daddy was, or that he'd die so soon after I was born in some sort of cruel operatic twist.
But I never regretted my decision, because Andre made me happy in a way that I never had before. So, Carrie, as much as I think you're a swell sort of fellow,
are we over Jay?
I'm going to ask you to leave this place and never look back.
Mama!
I'm sorry, Buttercup, but this is the way it has to be. I do not want you to have the life that I left.
Mama, I'm sorry, but
no,
you know that I love you, but you don't get to have a say in this. Sure, Carrie, he may not be the most handsome man in the world, and he may not be the brightest man in the world, but he touched me, Mama. He touched me deeply. He made me feel love the way an adult should, not the way a child does. And
oh, Jay!
You can say he's trying so hard to keep it together. Look at that
you're sending me away too. I'm sorry, Mama, but no! This is the man of my dreams, and I will not let him go.
Or have a
I
shirt.
feel like Jay watches this scene once a year.
If you have me.
This cannot happen. I will not allow it.
It can. Because I'll give up my job. I'll give up my path. Just ask me.
Carrie, will you give up this path of murder and bloodletting and prove your love to me?
Bloodletting.
As you wish.
I hope you mean this, Carrie. Because I haven't killed anybody in 18 some odd years. And if I do decide to do it again, it's going to take a very, very long time and hurt very, very much.
Why is Sid wearing a wig?
So, boss, I'm sorry. I just can't do this anymore. I'm going to leave that whole world behind. I just can't do it anymore.
Well, so be it. You'll be missed, Carrie. I wish you the best of luck.
Because that's how it goes in the mom.
Yeah, they'll let him go.
And by the way, I'm going to cash in my vacation.
What a shame, Mr. Wesley. You had such potential.
Well, they're digits. That other one wasn't.
Inconceivable.
Hunter?
This is supposed to be the story of your life, right?
Yes, it is.
Well, no offense or anything, but there's no way they had cell phones back then.
Posh. I'm taking liberty with the details. But the heart remains true.
What are you doing here?
Potato masher. Polly doesn't have one.
Well, sit down. We have plenty more story to tell.
I should get going.
It's a very accepting show.
Stay for the story.
Hunter does have a good point.
Of course.
Well, now, where was I? Buttercup and Carrie spent the next few days in a blind bliss. Yes, yes. They spread their joy everywhere, and Mama had to clean up after them.
Wait.
Mama found herself torn between her joy of seeing her child happy and her disgust at cleaning up the sweat and other love fluids that happiness left behind. And then came the happiest day of Buttercup's life.
Do you trust me?
No.
With my mama's laugh.
Oh, that was quick. Thanks.
Good.
Why do you have a knife in bed?
Why are you holding that knife this whole time?
How long have you been holding that knife? Don't cut my bracelet off.
I'm gonna get out of this house arrest. Boot.
I asked about the logistics here for a long time.
You made me happier than any man could be. You filled every female sexual fantasy I've ever had. Will you do me the pleasure and marry me?
Oh, Carrie. I thought you'd never ask.
So is that a yes?
I mean, I don't really have that many options living on a secluded farm like this. Of course it's a yes.
That's a shitty way of saying yes.
This exact same thing happened to me.
Of course it did.
Carrie? I never really stopped to ask.
What
brought you to this secluded farm in the first place?
Well, I heard that there was a place with the most beautiful creatures that could not be tamed.
Wild stallions?
I figured I'd give it a shot at it.
Jay is so delightful in this scene.
Look at him in his classy, snazzy lighting. Look at that. Little twinkle in his eye.
Twinkling. I miss Jay. Don't tell him I said that.
We'll be right back after this.
Oh.
Don't be afraid.
Detective Mark Bessem.
You can call me Derek, Detective. Help me. These are murder cases, and you want to run around and talk about fairy tales and princesses.
You can educate the world on the great beyond. Instead, you pretend it doesn't exist.
There aren't any monsters, Mark. They're only people. And they're the ones you need to catch. How do you rise above your hunger?
I'm totally surprised he hasn't eaten you yet. Shouldn't get too personal. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the ship sailed in that one.
Oh, yes, the adventures of a demonologist. Keep the candle burning at both ends.
Well, there's no better way to celebrate Halloween than streaming and binging some Demon Doctor. You can do that over at demondoctor.com. We right now are streaming / binging / rewatching / commenting on season 2 of Skeleton Crew as we count down to season 5, which is coming up. And as you can see from the streaming thing on the bottom here, the scrolling thing on the bottom, we're still trying to fund this musical episode that we're in the middle of making. It's a behemoth of a thing. So any help that you can provide would be really awesome. And another way that you can help support this whole endeavor, all of the things that come from the SideKick universe, is to head over to tpublic.com and grab yourself a SideKick Productions shirt, like Demon Doctor, Skeleton Crew, Art Blowing It. You can look super sexy in this. We're still waiting to see if we can get these printed. Yeah. So it really does give you so much pleasure to wear these shirts. So we hope that you will join us. This episode, y'all, oh my God, it's so much. And then at one point, Josh, Anthony / Buttercup, has switched into this faux Madonna British accent that was.
It's Southern. It's a Southern accent.
It's a choice.
Southern British.
And can we confirm is the ring pubic hair? Is that what that's supposed to be?
That was exactly. It was supposed to be a very romantic ring made cut from her pubic hair. He took the knife and then he cuts her pubic hair and fashions it into a ring and then proposes to her with it. It's so romantic. I mean, that's what happens, right? In when you don't have a ring handy, you make what do with what you have.
Yeah.
Look, you're right what you know, gosh darn it.
Do you know how many rings I made out of pubic hair?
Tell us about the opening scene. This is an homage to what exactly?
Well, it's not so clear because and clearly it wasn't so clear because Carl asked the question as well. It's not so clear because I didn't go with the most obvious and famous stuff from the film in the opening scene, but because the whole episode functions as an homage to this movie, you eventually start to realize that the opening scene, as Carl nicely pointed out, is an homage to The Princess Bride.
Of course, The Princess Bride. Now, Ashley and Stuart, big fans of The Princess Bride, of course. Yes, no?
Yes. I'm just going to say I have the ring.
You kept it? Wow.
I did. I kept the. I should put it on the right finger.
You're joking, but up until I changed my wallet about a year ago, I had the ring in my wallet for about 3 years.
She just went to the tub and scraped out the hair from the drain. That's all.
No, it was in my hairbrush.
See, Owen's ex made a ring out of electronic spare parts. It's not disbelievable that you could do that.
Yeah, but that's
There's
cool.
just something about like my pubic hair. I don't want to wear it on my finger.
Yeah, the robot ring, that's cool.
I looked up. Hair rings were a big thing in the Victorian ages.
Josh, I've told you this before. I will tell you again, and that's okay. We're not in those times. We live in a different time. I know that you and I hung out then too, and that's cool. And we gotta let the past be. We can adapt and take things from it, but we don't. We should adapt to some things now.
So we should adapt and take things, but we shouldn't take the hair rings.
We should
listen,
the hair. We should leave it.
If you're going to
put it in a bowl.
If you're going to take a hair ring, then you should just take this one.
But oh god,
no, I don't want to see it. Don't make me.
It's so long, though.
It is a long video.
Wait, we can't do this. We got to get back to the episode.
What?
All right, so
this is the one ring that scares them all.
We've seen
it's in my contract that I can't be scared by anyone ever.
You do horror shows with me.
I'm so excited.
I know.
Contracts. So we see how this kind of connects to the audience question tonight, obviously. So let's take a moment to. No, we don't.
Not at all.
The question is, what is your favorite 80s fantasy film?
Well, because The Princess Bride came out in 1987, Ashley, and that's a fantasy film.
I think of it as a comedy or like a kid's movie because I was a kid when I saw it.
Sure.
But yeah, okay.
Josh, what are some of the other comments from the audience? And let's hear from.
Oh, Labyrinth. Good one, Carl.
Good one.
Really good one. Labyrinth's one of the first movies I remember seeing.
Legends.
I never saw Labyrinth until I was much older in college,
really?
actually. Which I was crazy because I love it. I mean, I love Legend, though. I grew up and watched Legend.
What about Lady Hawk? Lady Hawk, anyone?
Lady Hawk is okay.
Yeah.
TNG all the way.
What's TNG? Is that the Next Generation?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind.
I don't either.
But did the Next Generation start in the 80s?
Next Generation Star Trek series was throughout the 80s.
Well, fantasy.
This is total news to me.
Highlander.
Highlander's good. Josh, did you pick?
I did not pick it. I want to hear Stuart's first.
Oh, Carl stole it from me. It's Labyrinth all the way.
Okay.
Okay. Not Dark Crystal.
No.
Ugh.
Ludo's my homeboy.
Hard pass on Dark Crystal. It's one of the few things from the 80s that I've never understood. I've watched it as an adult multiple times, and every time I'm like, when is this over?
Yeah.
Not my thing. Yeah.
Back to the Future, okay.
Back to the Future.
I would consider that more
science fiction than fantasy.
I'm also one of those people that doesn't actually love Back to the Future that much.
Right on. Well, there's
fun.
I do love Excalibur. I love that movie.
Yeah,
I watch that all the time. But
okay, so
no one has said my favorite one yet. My favorite
Dragon Slayer?
No, Willow.
Oh, I loved Willow.
Oh yeah.
I loved Willow.
I always wanted to be Willow because I always, logically being a very short, very chubby person, I associated with hobbits a lot.
Josh,
I still do.
Yeah.
You also don't have a problem wearing your inspirations on the front of your VHS box. So what's it like playing these characters within a story? And what kind of gave you the idea?
Oh my god! Well, like I said, this episode is just so much fun. It's so ridiculous. Somebody mentioned they don't know how Jay kept a straight face. I mean, it's just so much fun to play these characters outside of who we've been playing, and that's one of the great things I think about Skeleton Crew is that it gives us, we get chances to sometimes just do something out of the box. I mean, Ashley gets it every other episode because she plays like 3 characters, but I mean, the rest of us don't get it that often, and it's really fun. I think this episode I probably was watching or rewatching an I know they did this in a lot of things, especially in animation, but I was probably rewatching an episode, I believe, of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the Liberty Bell episode, where they tell the story about how the Liberty Bell got cracked. And they were telling the story, and all the characters play other characters historically in the background. So it's pretty common, I think, to have this trope where you're listening to a story and then you see the main characters playing the characters of the story itself. But it just it's just so much fun to be able to do that. And I mean, I got a chance to be a young Reverend Yolanda. That was really exciting for me.
And Stuart, you got to be 2 people at once. So what was it like playing that? And who was your double?
Oh, I was my own double. I just ran real fast to the other side of the. No, I'm kidding. It was mostly Josh. It was mostly Andrew, I believe.
No, it was entirely Andrew.
Entirely Andrew? Oh.
Andrew came to the cabin with us and filmed. He had no scenes as Chaz. He just came to be our body double.
He was my mom's shoulder.
But he was also like super sick. He was so that's Andrew's amazing. He was super sick, and he still came and spent the weekend with us and passed out
sick, like not feeling good, or like his performance was sick.
I mean, both. That goes without saying. Yes, I did have to shave my body for the part because that's appropriate for.
It's so interesting that you would ask that because I'm pretty sure if enough of you commented below that you would like to see it, there is some additional footage of Josh being shaved or shaven, whichever is appropriate.
Shorn.
Stuart.
There's a elusive secret behind the scenes clip of
available on my OnlyFans.
Prepping for this day of filming.
So if people comment about it and they want to see it, we can show the episode of Stuart shaving me next week. We can show it's a 1-minute clip and we can show it next week. So
you know what to do, internet. You know what to do. Make it happen.
And I agree, Carl. Willow is great.
All right.
One of you said my favorite. I really liked Star Wars when I was a kid.
Oh,
that's from 1977, actually.
But there was one I watched when I was a child in the 80s.
Maybe Return of the Jedi, but would we consider that fantasy or would we consider that sci-fi?
Actually, no. So, I'm sorry I don't mean to jump in, Ashley. You go ahead. You say your thoughts.
I was just gonna say it feels like it's in that realm to me. It's all in the same box of like that shit couldn't happen, but could it?
So, if you look at Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, the 2nd edition, they actually talk about the difference between science fiction and fantasy, and they talk about why Star Trek is science fiction and Star Wars is fantasy. Because Star Wars, up until Sorry, don't mean to do that. But up until the prequel series, Star Wars was actually a fantasy series because it was based on the idea of magic and the Force being this sort of magical, mystical force. Then with the prequel series, they brought out the idea of midichlorians, and midichlorians became this scientific thing, so they based it in. So that's where it moved into the science fiction.
Wait,
the power of grass compels you.
So the difference between the two is that fantasy is based in magic. Period.
And fantasy has elements of yes, and science fiction is science based.
Okay.
With that, Star Wars is based in magic because it's Jedi, and Jedi is mind, and so it's magic, as opposed to Star Trek, which would be here. Chip could be in here, and then I could be transported somewhere because it's science.
Exactly. But then, unfortunately, with the midichlorians, when they did the midichlorians in the prequel series, they turned Star Wars.
What's a what? What's a midichlorian?
Oh, I'm putting Nakia to sleep.
We'll explain all of this later.
What's a midichlorian?
Very quickly, a midichlorian is a small creature that lives in the universe and gives you the power of the Force.
In Star Wars?
Star Wars, yes.
Oh, shit, Josh, we need to do a whole thing just on that.
I think so, but let's jump into this because Nakia is getting sleepy.
Sorry, Nakia. The fans want to know. They keep sending me text messages.
No, they want to see Josh get shaved.
They do. All right. I see where.
All right. Here we go. Back to before.
Is that Andrew? Or is that...
That is Andrew right there. Oh, no, that's Paul. That's Paul's body.
Paul.
Everybody knows that's Paul.
Well,
that's Andrew,
quite
though.
the home for yourself here.
That's Andrew?
The shoulder.
You don't have to do this. Oh, please. Don't try and lead me down that path.
Close enough in the
You
glasses.
know the destination will never be reached.
Yeah,
and I'd hope you'd have more respect for me than to try. You know, this would have gone so much more smoothly if Carrie had done as instructed. But like you, he let his heart get in the way.
Oh, Stu. What are you doing to me?
Now, what do you say we take that organ out of the equation?
Oh, you're crying on the other end? So
Please,
much.
Buttercup, just listen to me.
Listen to what? You told me that the whole reason that you came here was so that you could murder my mama.
I gave up my mission for you. I gave it all up for you. I love you.
I have to think.
But that's
Please. Just let me be.
Stop in the name of love.
Oh.
This is so much fun to play this part. I loved it so much.
I'm lucky I got this brand new pair of overalls.
Yeah.
Oh. There's a bandana on the table.
Maybe we'll do a backstory.
Well, it's good to see your senses haven't been completely dulled, my boy.
What are you doing here?
You know. You don't need me to tell you.
Just walk away. This can end better.
You hopeless romantics. Let a few chemicals in the brain cloud your reality.
No!
Story of my life.
Don't be so squeamish. You've caused way worse horrors than this. And you will again.
At the hospital of birth.
Oh. Mama? Look, we need to talk.
Ah, the lovely Buttercup. I'm Mr. Digits. So, you're the one that tempted my best man to leave my fold.
What have you done?
Use your eyes, child. I shouldn't have to spell it out for you.
What?
Where?
Grown-up reasons for children playing in adulthood, I suppose. But they are my reasons. And I will not be questioned.
Wow, that's almost like a prelude.
No.
To something.
You'll do this to me
more
too.
turned on, Stu?
What do you think?
I think you're forgetting one thing, Mr. Digits.
I'm a mutant.
Oh? And what's that?
I am my mother's child.
Oh.
Yep.
Plug it up. Plug it up. Oh, wrong movie. Sorry.
That deer was so hard to work with.
Bambi was just like,
I don't see what you need me for. I mean, you can obviously
You can
tell the story
ratio
fine
it
yourself.
Bull.
Who is her?
That's complete bull. I don't believe any of that.
You really don't have any manners, do you?
Oh, it's quite all right,
What
Hunter.
is that in the center?
Just
Jello?
leave him alone. It's
We're having
fine.
bread and glasses. What of it?
I can go check on the turkey. I'm starving. And his story did nothing to change that.
Don't people normally put the
Horatio,
walk the
remember
other way?
Timothy chapter 6, verse 8? But if we have food and clothing, then we shall be content. So be patient and grateful.
Do you see any food, Abacus?
No, we were just talking about that.
I will go and take a look.
Hopefully, I have a little bit more than just take a look
Ooh,
You're cooking?
on the potatoes. The
I
potatoes
guess-
are gone.
I mean, somebody has to, right? I suppose.
I suppose.
But you know, it's too
Do you-
much.
Do I stay?
You have to kill the deer bloodline.
No, I just gave you my masher, remember?
How are you doing? How are things?
You know.
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
Great. Well, I should get going.
How's the bar?
He's so good in this episode.
That's great.
Yeah,
Right.
this is one of his best
I
episodes.
mean, the money Aaron left me really helps, but it's not enough.
It's not?
But don't worry about it. I mean, I've got a bunch of ideas up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Yeah.
this is one of his favorite scenes.
When I remember, yeah.
You look like you lost weight.
Maybe. A bit.
You need to take care of yourself, Anthony.
Would you like
I think he'll be
How much
okay
you
if
can
he
do
lost
these
5
days.
pounds.
I think he'll make it.
Well, good night, then.
Hunter,
Kiss him. Kiss him.
you forgot your masher.
I was holding it this whole conversation.
Yeah.
Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving, Anthony.
Happy Thanksgiving, Jay.
Good night.
Happy Thanksgiving, Hunter.
Couldn't have said that to his face.
You know, he's like right over there.
Where's the potatoes?
I think it shrank.
I think it's a chicken.
That was some dinner. Thank
if
you,
you just
Anthony.
keep
Yes,
acting,
it was delightful.
This is a chicken. It's really dry.
I'm sorry. This is the first time I've ever done this.
I love Frank.
Fine. You get it right next time. So,
This is a
what's the
chicken.
Isn't that Jello on the table?
No, it's a Himalayan salt
I'll get some
candle holder.
Yeah, they're lava candle holders.
I don't know why he put 2 of those on the table instead of food, but we know that when it comes to
Now, Anthony, I know you're your own man, but I really don't think.
You know, I
I'm
agree,
legit
because
thought they
this
were
meal was not as good as it could have been,
apricot
but
not as strong
I
as
think with more practice, I could really do a better bird. I do.
Anthony, I'm not talking about
Basting. Basting is where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get anything?
dignity. It's just so painful watching your friends make decisions that you know they shouldn't make.
I spent too long seeing my parishioners do just that, Mr. Reed. I don't want to see my friends end up doing the same.
Well, I guess we have to be thankful that we're there for them even when they don't know that they need us.
Hey. If I didn't say it earlier, thank you for dinner.
Yeah?
Yeah. I really appreciate everything that you do for me.
I hope we can make it work.
I needed to hear that.
Catch you later, big guy.
Really rooting for these two, you know?
Yeah.
I think they're going to make it.
To the tracks, but I think that things could happen. Thank God he's got a glass of vitamin water.
After a long day, some dragon fruit just sets me right.
Snuggles has fallen asleep.
Did you just fall asleep in your chair?
Snore.
Tell me about it. I mean, the nights he keeps me up.
Excuse me, madam. I've decided to nap.
And why not?
I'm finding that part of myself locked away these days.
Pity.
Can I get you anything?
Wine? Beautiful.
Anthony, darling, if I had some more wine, I would never be able to make it home.
Then I'll drink alone.
Fuck yeah.
At some point.
I'm telling you again, after that story you just told, you don't need me.
Silly man! That was horse twaddle. As rude as Horatio can be, he was right about something. And that is that I don't need any help in spinning a tall yarn like that.
Okay.
The truth of who I am and where I come from. That's both so much more ordinary and so much more painful. And in you, I see someone that understands that.
The lives we all live, they aren't worth living sometimes.
The computer monitors we tilt.
Because the pain we cause those in them, the love we feel for those we hurt, that never goes away. No matter what we do, we can't make it up to them.
Drake has Verizon.
We tell stories about ourselves.
No
We
wonder
change
he's
who we are because sometimes we just can't accept the truth.
Oh, this one.
And that's the worst part. Because when you start to lie to yourself, you forget who you are until you aren't you anymore. And then you just, you're
look how excited he
gone
is.
for good. Lost in a web of lies.
And sometimes you just want it to end.
I'm glad it's not over yet.
Me too, my boy. Me too. The truth can make the world dull and numb. So, when you feel something, Anthony, even if it is painful, it's better than being numb.
This is before I arrived.
We had drinks for the tools in our toolbox.
Forever.
This is one of my favorite scenes of Yolanda's.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful speech. She does a great job.
Lovely and just nuanced, the whole thing. Oh,
It's very well written, too.
We moved to a chair.
Horatio roofied him.
Anthony?
Just
let
don't
it
say
happen.
anything.
No, it's
okay. Let's just relax.
Stuart, you wore that shirt this weekend.
I can pretend I do with everything else.
Is that what you want?
I don't know what I want.
It's nice seeing Hunter today.
I suppose.
It'd be nicer if he stayed.
Yeah, well, he's not coming back.
You don't need to tell me that.
I'm not.
That's it. All right, you know what? I can't stand you moping around like some sad clown.
Dost thou know the difference between a bitter fool and a sweet fool, Anglicus?
Whoa.
I'm serious. You can't go on this way. You're
Where did that
stagnating.
Shakespeare come
Yeah, well,
from?
I am literally in a
Where's
cage
my
down here, so
skeleton?
I don't really have much of a choice in the matter.
That's it.
What are you doing?
Cut your bonds. Now drop your drawers.
That's okay.
No, I'm serious.
So am I. I know you carved the bird at dinner, but this is not a turkey between my thighs.
I mean,
I know I'm in
That's-
no
that's
position
what Martha
professionally to
would
give
do.
you any advice, but as your friend, as somebody who cares about you,
I don't like what you're letting happen to yourself.
Yeah, well, Hunter made his choice, and so did I.
And you choose Horatio?
Yeah, that one, that just sort of happened.
Well, make a choice. Don't just let things happen, or you're going to go through the rest of your life numb.
Well, that's the pot calling the kettle.
Just don't slip, all right? I'm already circumcised.
Is he trimming his pubes?
No, he's gonna cut off some to make a ring.
That's going to be very painful. Did you think that? Hey, guys.
All right, it's time for post-show thoughts.
I have a thought.
Give us your post-show thoughts.
Stuart, and can I see everyone? Because it's distracting for me just to see me. I'm sorry. Stuart and Josh are so good together. I love watching the two of them so very much. It just makes me really happy. That's my final thought. And this whole episode, everyone's performance was just so lovely. Jay had some amazing twinkly eye moments, and just it was such a lovely episode, and it's so funny and over the top and yet poignant. Great job. Really great job.
No, this is a good one. This
really is.
This is one of our most solid episodes from start to finish, I think.
It's so
I really, really love it. It's
Josh,
so much
anything
fun.
you've done different?
I don't know if the chastity stuff comes across as well as it could. I wish I could show it better. Obviously, it's not something that you can really show on YouTube.
I mean, I think your fans would definitely wish you would have shown it.
But I don't think it's something that could be shown on YouTube, so therefore I did not show it on YouTube.
However, something that can be shown on YouTube is this shaving video. And if we get enough comments and or somebody makes $100 donation tonight, we'll definitely post the video next week. Josh, what happened to the turkey?
So, and I agree with you, Blachuvera. That's I think that, and Stuart and I really have a great chemistry off and on screen. So, something that you might see in a little show that's coming out soon, I think, too.
I wonder if I could ever see that somehow.
Or capitalize on that kind of chemistry and synergy. You know?
I wonder if someone would ever decide to write something, putting the two of you working together that's not Josh.
Yeah, imagine something like that existed and how great that would be.
I mean, it could be really cool.
Sound is speeding. Cameras are rolling. This is day one, take one of...
Why do you have two different cameras?
What?
Oh, God. This footage is going to look like shit. I've got a crucial audition, and it is imperative that everything go flawlessly. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
What if we said no?
Are you okay?
We have a fabulous guest for you today.
Yeah, you want to talk about Emmy? She's great.
So glad that Emmy's making a comeback. Although I suppose, did she really go anywhere? She's just been sort of bumbling around, hasn't she?
Do you know who I am?
You are a has-been from the 90s, Emmy Hart.
She is brilliant, strong, and she is so humble.
I'm the glue that holds Emmy together. So without me, she's just kind of like a fart in the wind.
Felix, you slept with my mom?
No.
Sex in my 60s is the best of my life.
What the are you doing?
You have chlamydia and gonorrhea.
Well, I already know that. What's the good news?
Emmy, you need these eye drops because of your drug problem. Look at how red your eyes are.
Oh my God.
I'm overcome with emotion too!
Wow, that's a nice bra.
I am so proud of you for exploring your sexuality one micro-orgasm at a time.
Can you make me feel good? Please, can you just make me feel good? Please.
Oh my God! Ow!
Come back later, and we'll do the scene again. Out of my way.
Can't wait.
Come back later, and we'll
I
do
can't
the
wait.
scene again. It's my favorite part of the whole thing. It's so funny.
I
I
can't wait.
can't wait either.
I can't wait.
But you're gonna have to wait, folks. It will be coming out soon. We'll keep you up to date about all things Art of Blowing It right here. Don't forget that you can go over to tpublic.com and get yourself an Art of Blowing It t-shirt, as well as some Demon Doctor shirts for Skeleton Crew. We're here every Monday night. Josh, do we get any coming out stories that people shared in the comments?
I think we shared the stories that we did get. So
Okay,
thank you so much for sharing your stories with us.
Absolutely.
It really means a lot. And again, it's okay if you don't come out. It's okay if you come out on your terms, and that's what matters.
That's
the important thing is that you know that being who you are is not a bad thing, and embracing who you are is important. And that's what this episode does. Even, I mean, this is about Glenda. I mean, one of the reasons that Buttercup is Buttercup in this episode is because Glenda is a trans woman. She views herself probably growing up, Glenda didn't play. It wasn't raised as a young woman, but when she tells the story about her life, that's what she tells her life as, because she is a woman, and that's how she remembers herself. So that's about. I think it's important to just be who you are.
Absolutely.
Two things. Glenda's not a man, she's a woman. That's one. And the second, speaking of coming out, Stuart's episode's coming out on Friday.
Oh, shiznit.
And that's the tea.
Stuart Kiczek, Asher Monique Menard, Friday.
So if you aren't listening to the After Your Fears podcast, you got to subscribe and listen, catch up on old episodes, and make sure that you're there and available on Friday to catch our awesome one that we do together.
I'm frozen.
I was gonna say, that's quite the attitude you have, Nakia. It looks like you're just like.
It's like, why is Nakia upset? He was on the show.
I think it's because my brain has already left the building.
You're frozen because your heart
Thanks so
is
much for everybody being here tonight and for tuning in. This was a really good episode of the show, and a really good episode of SideKick Power Hour. We do this every Monday night at 7 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Standard. So
I love watching you get back in time.
It's super, super trippy.
Gotta go back in time.
Josh, any last words?
And also, thank you everyone for being here tonight and being here every week with us. It means so much. F Your Fears is not on YouTube. You can get F Your Fears on Spotify and
Apple Podcasts.
And Amazon Music, as well as Apple Podcasts.
Anywhere you get podcasts.
Radio.com.
Spotify.
It's
there.
It's there. You can also go to fyourfears.com, click on there, and it'll take you places. It'll take you to Stu's over on Friday. Inside you'll be able to learn all the really cool shit that he's done. I love Stuart's episode so much. I mean, partly because I just love Stuart so much.
Right.
It's
the
so
hook
good.
line.
Well, we love y'all, and thanks so much for being here, everybody, and we'll see you next time. All things from the SideKick Productions universe. And I thought I was going to forget all my lines. Because it's a body positive show.
I read for the role of Hunter, and